So we have this epidemic now. Brothers are spending hours at the gym. And I'm not saying exercise and it's good and whatever. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Wallahi, I find that amazing. Brothers that somehow miraculously find an hour to an hour and a half a day for the gym, sometimes 5 to 6 days a week. But he can't find half an hour for Quran in the whole month. So we have this obsession with looking big, looking dominant, looking strong. Because in the heart of hearts, you and I, we believe, we interpret that to be manly. So one day the Prophet ﷺ is walking in the streets of Medina. Again, just try to leave this with me, yeah? So he's walking in the streets of Medina and he finds the Sahaba, they've gathered around a tree. So it's an interesting scene. So he walks over, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He walks over. When he walks over to the companions that are gathered around the tree, he notices Abdullah ibn Mas'ud hanging off the tree. And the Sahaba that were around the tree looking up, they were laughing and giggling. So he asks, he says to them, what are you laughing at? You see, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud wasn't the biggest guy in the world. And Abdullah ibn Mas'ud at the time was wearing an izar. Anyone know what an izar is? It's like the towel, man. You know the towel that the brothers wear? Yeah? Like that. This was common fashion for many of the companions. That's all they... What's the term for it? What is that? Lungi. The lungi, bro. So he's wearing the lungi. And Abdullah wasn't the biggest guy in the world. And he's climbing the tree. And in order to climb the tree, he had to lift his lungi up. And he wasn't wearing any Under Armour, skin tight undies under there, bro, pants. It's just desert. So he's lifted up his lungi, he's hanging off the tree, and the Sahaba that are on the floor looking up. So they're having a laugh. So the Prophet says, what are you laughing at? Again, caught in the moment. So they said, the Prophet of Allah, look at him. So he looks up and he sees what they were seeing. And says, are you laughing at how skinny his legs are? Brothers that are spending hours in the gym, I sincerely hope you're listening. And those young boys that are aspiring to be like these brothers, I also hope you're listening. And those sisters that desire to marry such men, or should I say boys, I also hope you're listening. So the Prophet says, are you laughing at his legs? Meaning, are they too skinny? Are they not manly enough in your eyes? So the Sahaba said, yes, O Prophet of Allah, we're laughing at his legs. So he says, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, I swear by Allah that those legs that you're laughing at are heavier than the mountain of Ummah in the eyes of Allah. Men! So you might say to me, no, brother, it's not about being physically big, nor is it about being physically strong, knowing how to handle yourself. But in the heart of hearts, every one of us here believes that what makes you a man is we worship this. We worship this. So you might say to me, brother, what do you mean we worship? Habib, you don't have to put a 20-pound note on the floor to make sajda to worship. No, the Prophet ﷺ said, Ta'isa abd dirham. May the one that worships the dollar, may he be destroyed and humiliated. May he be exhausted. That was the dua, that was the curse of the Prophet. When we say worship, anyone knows what worship is? Worship means to obey. When you obey, you worship. Ever heard the term, the brother worships his wife? What does that mean? That means when she tells him jump, he tells her, yeah, Habibi, how high do you want me to jump? He worships her. That's worship. We worship the brother. Why? Why? Because in the heart of hearts, the pound dictates and determines to you and I what time we wake up in the morning. It dictates to you and I what clothes should I be wearing. The pound is what dictates to you and I. Do I go to the Jum'ah prayer or don't I? Well, if my boss says yes, then I go. But if my employer says no, then brother, what do you want me to do? The pound is king. So your ability to make money, I'm a man, brother, I provide. Have you noticed this? Is this culture here or am I in Disneyland? Do you guys have this culture here or not? Please speak up. Yes or no? Yes. So it's here. It's relevant. The pound. How much money you make. That determines how manly you are, brother. How much do you own, brother? How big is your house? What car do you drive? What brand is your handbag? Because I'm a man. Because I provide. Aisha narrates to her nephew Urwa. She says, "O Urwa, I swear by Allah that we used to see the full moon, then the full moon, then the full moon, 2 complete months, and there would not be a single flame, meaning no cooking and no boiling in any of the 9 houses of Rasulullah for 2 consecutive months. No cooking and no boiling." So Urwa couldn't believe his ears. Authentic narration. So he says to her, my auntie Aisha, how did you guys survive? No cooking, no boiling for 2 consecutive months. How did you people eat? How did you people survive? She said, Al-Aswadan, Al-Tamr wal-Ma. For 2 consecutive months, we lived off dates and water. Now I'm going to ask you, and please don't answer because you're going to embarrass yourself. In the heart of hearts, by the standards that we live in today, is the Prophet of Allah a man or not? Is he a provider or not? 2 months, none of the 9 houses would boil or cook anything, water and dates. Is he a man? By our standards,